The Harper government has announced plans to address high-risk accused persons found not criminally responsible. The changes will make the safety of the public key in deciding when to release a mentally ill criminal.
For a look at how this changes things, we have Dr. A.J. Ahmed in Ottawa with us. So the doctor is the Associate Chief of Forensic Psychiatry at the Royal Ottawa Healthcare Group. So, doctor, what is your reaction to today's news?
The reaction is mixed, actually, because we don't know the details yet of what these changes will be. But we hope that the changes will take into consideration the needs of these individuals who suffer from very serious mental disorder, while bearing in mind the need for the safety of the public.
How is someone determined to be, maybe you can give us a bit of background on this, someone determined to be not criminally responsible?
Generally speaking, when anybody commits an offense and the case is taken to court, the individual may be found guilty if they do not have any mental illness. But the individuals who are found NCR have very serious mental illness, and what the criminal code says is that these individuals, but for their illness, wouldn't have committed the offense, i.e. the offense is what made them to do whatever they did. And such individuals, therefore, are deemed to require treatment rather than punishment. Consequently, they're sent into a psychiatric hospital rather than being sent to jail.
You know, the changes are going to make the safety of the public key in deciding when to release a criminally, a mentally ill criminal. So at the end of the day, this is a good thing for the victims, isn't it? I mean, it gives them greater voice in the justice system.
Absolutely. It's a good thing for the system, it's a good thing for the society. But what we're saying here is that we should also look into the treatment needs of these unfortunate patients and the need for rehabilitation and reintegration into the community. Because we've said right from the outset that for their mental illness, for which they require treatment, they wouldn't have done what they did. So one will hope that these changes will take into consideration the need for us to reintegrate the individuals after providing them with the necessary medication and other forms of treatment.
This is dealing with the review process for mentally ill killers. I mean, what is this process like?
The review board process is determined under the criminal code. There is a review board consisting of a chairperson. Each province has a chairperson, but we have several alternative chairs. But at any time, there are 5 or 3 individuals who sit on the board. There's a lawyer who is the chair of the board, another lawyer member of the board, a member of the public, and a psychiatrist and a psychologist, or 2 psychiatrists. So these are high-level professionals from within the legal system and from the medical system who take very serious look at the patient's risk and the progress they've made since they've committed their offense and the intervening period between each of the review. They look at what the patient is doing, what progress they've made, what are their risk level, and how they've been responding to medication and other treatment intervention.
Doctor, you treat people who are found not criminally responsible, so how will this affect them?
Well, we don't know really, because we are not sure of the length of time. In my practice, once patients start getting well, you've treated them with the medication, other kinds of treatment, because it's not just medication, there's the psychosocial treatment intervention within the context of recovery-based risk management system. You want to send the patient into the community, you want them to attend other programs. Should there be further restriction, it will make it very difficult to get these individuals reintegrated into the community. On another note is the limited resources that we have. Should we now have these individuals not being able to be successfully reintegrated into the community, even when we know that the recidivism rate, the rate of reoffense is lower, and the offenses are of minor nature in most cases, then it becomes a big problem because we block the beds. So there are other people who cannot come into the system who equally deserve treatment. Those are the kind of concerns.
Dr. Ahmed,
come from.
let me just ask you this. I mean, I think a major question folks are going to ask, though, is what happens when someone is released from care? I mean, how do we ensure that they're not a safety threat moving forward?
We continue to monitor them. People are not granted absolute discharge with ease, really. It takes a long time, and until the board is convinced that they're no longer significant risk, such individuals are not released into the community. And the practice indicate, I mean, the statistics indicate that the rate of reoffense among patients under the review board is lower compared to the criminal justice system or individuals who go through the correctional system. And for individuals who are even granted absolute discharge, the rate is even lower than individuals who are under the review board, which shows that the system is working. People are not released unless they've been determined to not constitute significant risk to the safety of the public.
Dr. A.G. Ahmed in Ottawa today, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Todd.